Good morning, students. Welcome back to your YouTube channel Atri Academy. Here we are with the fourth and the last video of the first chapter of class 8th science subject, the crop production and the management. In first three video, we studied about the 6 methods of farming. The first was preparing of the soil, the second was sowing the seeds, third was manuring, and fourth was irrigation. The fifth was protection from the weeding, and the sixth was harvesting. These all 6 method of farming we have studied in the last 3 videos. If you have missed all these 3 videos, you can go to Atri Academy channels and then there go to playlist. In the playlist, these 3 videos are available in the playlist named 8th science English medium. Now it is the fourth and the last video of the chapter, and in this we will study about the last method of farming, the 7th activity which the farmer perform after harvesting. After the farmer has harvested the crop and have got the yield, have got the production of the grains and the whatever he harvested, now the grains, now the seeds of the crops are there and there is a need to store that. So it is the 7th and the last activity. Let's begin. What is storage? The storing and handling of the freshly harvested grains for the future use is called storage. The jute bags and the big metal containers are used for it. When the farmer has yield the crops gain, has yield the grains of the crop, then there is a need to store it properly to ensure its storage safe. It is stored either in the jute bags like this or in the big metal container. It is a metal container shown. These are the wheat seeds, wheat grains. Inside it's a little part shown here. And what precautions should be taken during the storage? When the farmer stores the grain of the crop, there are certain precautions to be taken. First, because the freshly harvested grains contains a large amount of the moisture. The moisture content should not be more than 14%. If the moisture content is more than 14%, then there is a possibility of the pest to attack on the grains and your grains may spoil or while we store the grains for the future use, we must ensure that there should have proper amount of moisture in the grains, and the storage space should be open and ventilated and lighted and free of the pests. These pests are like rats and others. So what precaution should we take? The first and the major precaution is that the moisture content in the grains should not be more than 14%. So the grains should first be dried properly so that the moisture content decreases. Here it is given, while the grains of the crops are dried, freshly harvested crops have high moisture content. Due to excess moisture, the grains are more prone to damage from insect, bacteria or fungi. This is why the moisture is reduced by drying the grains. I just told you. And the second thing, The space should be open. Why it should be open? The first thing that it will, the grain store the store of the grains will be in the observation properly. If anything observed abnormal and the pests are seen there, then we can make use of the pesticides and other things to say for the safety of the grains. Well ventilated, because if the store is ventilated, it will not let the moisture increase, it will keep drying the grains. And the next is how is storage done. The grains with the appropriate amount of the moisture are stored in jute sacks and in the metal containers. As shown here in the figure, you can see these are the jute bags filled with the grains for the further future storage, future use, and these are the metal containers in which the seeds are taken. What are silos? The silos are the large metal vessel in which the seeds are preserved. Take a look of the picture here. These are the metal containers of very big in size. These are specially meant to keep the seeds, securely, and these are taken by the government under their supervision, and the government takes care of the seeds stored here to ensure the availability of the best quality seed to the farmers during the time of sowing. Now there is a question: in rural area people store dried neem leaves with the grain while storing grains. I have seen it many times because I hail from a village, and in my village I have seen many times people making use of the dried neem leaves, because the dry neem leaves do not allow the bacteria and the fungi like pests to flourish in the grains, because the neem is a natural disinfectant. We cannot say disinfectant, it is an antiseptic, like antiseptic. The leaves of the neem have the property to expel the pests. It does not let the bacteria and the fungi develop. So the dried leaves of the neem are mixed with the dried grains so that they can be stored without any damage by the pests. Why should we not burn the residue left in the field after harvesting? This is another important question. Many times it is seen that the farmer, they burn the residue in their field. It is very wrong. Why should we not do? Because doing so increases the risk of air pollution. The first thing is that the air pollution is increased, or the burning of the neighboring farm crops, and the risk of burning the neighboring farm crops increases. The second thing, and the most disadvantage, is that the microorganisms are destroyed in the land, which reduce the fertile power of the farm land. I have earlierly in the early video said that the microorganisms, they play very vital role to make the soil fertile, because the microorganism they, by the natural process of decomposing of the organic substance, they produce humus in the soil and make the soil fertile. But when a farmer burns the residue of the crops, due to heat and temperature, there is microorganism in the soil, they die, and this is why the land becomes less fertile or maybe barren if the activity is performed again and again in the field. So to avoid these three things, air pollution and the risk of the burning of the neighbor's crop and the killing of the microorganism in the soil, we should not burn the residue of the agricultural waste in the land, in the farm. So the next question is, why is the paddy crop not grown in autumn? Because autumn is a season when you must be familiar with the fact that in autumn all the trees they shed their leaves, because it is not the time. Uh, the most suitable answer to this question is that paddy crops requires a lot of water, so it is grown only during the rainy season, because in the rainy season the availability of the water to the crop is ensured. And if it is the paddy crop is grown in autumn, the availability of the water is less ensured. This is why it is preferred to be grown in a rainy season rather in autumn season. Otherwise, the paddy crop can be shown throughout the years. It can be grown in summer, it can be grown in winter. But the factor that is to keep in mind is the availability of water. If the water is properly available in the winter, then the paddy crop can also be grown in winter as well. Now, how is paddy crop planted? As we have discussed earlier in the early part of the chapter, that by the seed drill method we sow the seeds in the soil, but it is not done here in case of paddy. First of all, the seeds of the paddy are grown separately in small places and small node the tiny plantlets are prepared, and then these node or the plantlets are planted in the fields filled with water. We make in a small portion the paddy seeds are grown very close to each other, then they are derooted, and then at proper distance and proper depth are installed or planted manually. Now, another question, what is animal husbandry? To get milk and meat from the animals, the animals are reared and cared for extensively. This is called animal husbandry. Means the animals, they are a major source of food for human beings. So we practice to rear and care these animals at a large scale. This is known as animal husbandry. Few examples are here. What is dairy farming? To obtain milk from the cattle like cows and the buffaloes, these are reared and cared for extensively. This is called dairy farming, because a large number of the cows and the buffaloes are reared together, and they are cared, they are provided meal, they are fed properly, they are provided all their needs, and in return get milk from them for the commercial selling. Now, what is poultry or poultry farming? Eggs from the chickens are extensively raised and taken. That's misprinted here. For the eggs and the meat, the chickens are reared and cared at a large amount. This is called poultry farming. So, as I am saying, the viewers are requested to please follow that. It is misprinting here. Now the next question is, what is fishery, or what is fisheries? Rearing and caring of the fish on a wide scale is called fishing. The fishes, they are like the poultry, they are reared and cared in fresh water on a wide scale. This is called fisheries. It is aimed to get meat, or in some cases the oil, that is obtained from the cod, liver, fish. Now another example is, what are the other useful substances which are obtained from the fish? Just I told you recently, cod liver oil is obtained from fish, which is very good source of vitamin D. So the fish are reared and cared on large scale, to which we say fishery. The fishery is done for the two purposes. One, for the supply of the meat, to get the meat from them, and the second, cod liver, the source of vitamin D. Now the next question, what is apiculture? To obtain honey and wax, rearing and taking care of the bees extensively is called beekeeping or apiculture. Because the bees they produce honey from the nectar of the flowers, which is a very precious substance, and not only the honey but the bees, the hive which the bees make, it contains wax. So these are the two important substances, honey and wax. To get these, men rear and care the bees. It is known as apiculture. Now here are the practice question from the textbook. The first question is, fill in the blanks with the appropriate words. Here the words are given: swim, crop, nutrients, water, preparation, and A, B, C, D. They are given 4 sentences with the blanks, but as you can see here on the screen, all the blanks are filled well with the correct words shown in red underline. These indicates the words which are to be filled in the blanks. So let I explain. Plants grown in large quantities of the same type at one place are called crop. This is the very first definition of the chapter I have told. The first stage for growing the crop is called soil preparation. I just told you there are 7 activities, and the first activities that is performed by the farmers is soil preparation. The third is damaged seed blank on the surface of water. From the option given above, here it is given swim, it should be float. Either it is misprinting or it is misprinting here in in an activity I just explained earlierly, the unhealthy seeds. These floats on the surface of the water because they are eaten from inside by the pests, and so they become light in weight and float. So when the pests they eat the seeds from inside, the seed gets damaged. This is why the right sentence is this: damaged seeds floats on the surface of the water. Now another sentence: sufficient sunlight, water blank, and blank from soil are necessary for growing the crop. Here from the words given above, the 2 words are here, water and nutrients, to be filled, and that makes a sense. Sufficient sunlight, water and nutrients from the soil are necessary for growing the crops. You know, when a crop is grown, it needs water and nutrients, and all these both of these, water and nutrients, are provided to the plants from the soil. The roots of the plant, they absorb the water and the nutrients. Now the next question, match the column A and B. It is given here in column A. It is the answer. In the column A, kharif crop, paddy and maize are the kharif crops, and rabi crops, wheat. Kharif crops are those which are shown in rainy season. Just I explained that paddy, it needs large amount of the water to because it is the rainy season which ensures the availability of water. This is why the right match of the Kharif crop is paddy of column B. Rabi crops. Rabi crops are those which are grown in winter, and we very well know that wheat and grams and pea, these are the crops which are shown in winter. So the right match of column A and B is this Rabi crops. The right match for the Rabi crop in column B is wheat, gram and pea. The third point of column A, chemical fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers, here are given some examples: urea and super phosphate. I explained in the segment of manure and the fertilizers. I listed some name of the fertilizers, and these two are of them, urea and super phosphate. So the right match for this chemical fertilizer of column A is urea and super phosphate of column B. And fourth and the last match, organic manure. Organic manure which are formed by the decomposition of animal waste, dungs, urine, etc. So the right match for organic manure in column A is animal waste, dung and urine from column B. It is answer here. Now question third. Give two examples of the following, each of the followings. In question 1, question A of part A of question 3, Kharif Fasal, Kharif crop. Two examples of the Kharif crop are paddy and maize. And B part of question C, Rabi crops. The two examples are wheat, gram and pea. Now the next question. Define the following. Preparation of the soil. We have already explained. Preparation of the soil is the reversing of the soil by the means of the plough and the harrow and the cultivator, so as to make the soil porous and second B is sowing. Define sowing. What is sowing? The process of sowing the seeds in the prepared soil is called sowing. The third is de-weeding or nirai. De means removal of. D stands for removal, weeds. De-weeding means nirai. Weeding is done by cutting or uprooting the weeds by hands or with the help of agriculture tool like the rati or spade. This is known as this manual. The manual removing the weeds manually, either cutting near the ground or uprooting the weeds properly, is known as nirai or the de-weeding. The fourth is threshing. The separation of the grain from the straw is known as threshing. We have already explained. And the answer to the question 5 to 9 are given already. We have already discussed. So students, it is your first chapter of class 8th subject science completed. I hope you all the concept you have learned properly, and in case if you have any problem, download the PDF file of this video from the description box free of cost, and read it, write it and after reading that, re-watch the video again, and then you will be able to understand the things properly. In case of if you have problems, language problem, you can watch the video of the same chapter on the same Atri Academy channel in the playlist. For that you need to browse the video in 8th Science Hindi Medium playlist. There you will find the videos on the same chapter in Hindi language, Fasal Utpadan Evam Prabandhan. After watching Hindi language video, it will be very convenient for you to understand the concept in English language. So best of luck. I hope you have got all the things properly. In case if you have any query, please write it in the comment box, share it, subscribe it, and watch again and again. Thank you very much. God bless you.